Hey, Cowboys Nation, let's get right into it, because there's a lot to unpack as we head into the next big matchup. Injuries, position adjustments, and strategic preparations are all on the table, and they're shaping how this team is going to approach the coming games. First off, looking at the Cowboys injury report for Thursday, there's a mixture of challenges and good news. Don Bland is still sidelined, which is something to keep an eye on, but beyond that, the updates are encouraging. Trayvon Diggs, who had been dealing with an illness earlier in the week, returned to full participation in practice, signaling that he's ready to contribute. Tyler Gayton, despite nursing a shoulder injury, was a full go, showing that he's bouncing back well. And Cavante Turpin, managing a neck issue, reported feeling solid in practice, emphasizing that he's ready to play and that his injury isn't a significant limitation. These kinds of updates are always crucial because having your core players healthy can make or break a game, especially when you're facing a team with a tough front line. Shifting over to the Bears, it's a different story. Their injury report shows several key players missing practice, many with hamstring concerns. Kareem Amagaji didn't participate, carrying over from a limited session on Wednesday due to an elbow injury. TJ Edwards, Kyler Gordon, DeMarco Jackson, and Jalen Jones all sat out due to hamstring problems, some of which are regression from earlier in the week. This is a team clearly battling injuries in critical spots, and hamstrings are notoriously tricky because they can linger and impact performance even when a player is clear to go. Grady Jarrett, dealing with a knee issue, was limited but still showing progress, while DeAndre Swift, the starting running back, was also limited in practice with a quad concern. Jade Walker, however, was fully active, a positive note amid a list of setbacks for the Bears. When you look at these reports side by side, it gives you a sense of where the competitive edge might lie this weekend, with the Cowboys appearing to have more stability in key positions. Now, the Cowboys are also experimenting a bit at the center position, which is a smart move given recent injuries along the offensive line. Tyler Booker is getting reps at center, and while he hasn't played there in a real game setting during his time at Alabama, he's had experience in practice and preseason. This kind of position flexibility is invaluable. You never want to be caught in a scenario where your starting center goes down and the backups aren't ready. Booker stepping in at center, even just in practice, ensures that the team has a contingency plan. Of course, the expectation is that Brock Hoffman will handle the starting duties, with TJ Bass as the next option. But having someone like Tyler Booker prepped for emergencies adds a layer of security, even if it might introduce some disruption to the offensive line chemistry in a real game scenario. It's all about preparation, and the Cowboys are clearly taking that seriously. Looking beyond injuries, the discussion around potential trades has started to pick up again. One name that's come up is Trey Hendrickson, an edge rusher currently with the Bengals. While some have floated the idea that the Cowboys could pursue him, the reality is that this move is highly unlikely. Hendrickson recently secured a raise, and while technically there's cap space for the Cowboys to make a play, the Bengals would almost certainly want more than a second-round pick, and the Cowboys already have depth at edge rusher with Javian Clowney and others. The logic behind the suggestion is clear, though. Hendrickson isn't Michael Parsons, but he comes at a lower cost, has produced sacks consistently over the past seasons, and wouldn't require sacrificing high-value draft picks. On paper, it seems reasonable, but practically, the likelihood of the deal happening is minimal. It's the kind of trade idea that sparks conversation and debate among fans, which is always fun, but we have to separate what could theoretically make sense from what is realistically going to happen. Back to the field, it's fascinating to see how the Cowboys are approaching player readiness. Cavante Turpin's comments about feeling good despite his neck injury are a great example of player mindset aligning with team needs. When athletes express confidence in their physical condition, it doesn't just reflect their own readiness. It also boosts the morale of the whole team. And when you couple that with players like Trayvon Diggs and Tyler Gayton returning to full participation, you see a picture of a squad that's committed to pushing forward despite the bumps along the way. This is especially important because the Bears are carrying a heavier injury load. When you have key players missing or limited, it puts more pressure on the healthy athletes to perform at a high level. In games like these, depth is tested, and the Cowboys seem to be in a position where they can rely on both their starters and their backups to hold up under the demands of the matchup. The depth and flexibility along the offensive line cannot be overstated. By working Tyler Booker at center, the Cowboys are ensuring that they can handle unexpected situations without losing offensive efficiency. It's not just about having a player who knows the position. It's about having someone who can step in and maintain stability when things get chaotic. Offensive line cohesion is delicate, and when one piece goes down, the domino effect can be significant. Preparing multiple players to cover different roles minimizes that risk. This kind of strategic foresight is something that separates teams that can weather injuries and adversity from those that struggle when things don't go as planned. The fact that the Cowboys are putting time into this shows they're thinking several steps ahead, not just for Sunday, but for the whole stretch of the season. Meanwhile, speculation around trades, even unlikely ones, plays into the larger narrative of team building and cap management. The Hendrickson scenario illustrates how teams balance potential immediate impact with long-term planning. Edge rushers are always in demand, and while Hendrickson could theoretically fill a need, the investment required, including draft picks or other roster adjustments, doesn't make it a priority. This is where fan discussions and analysis become entertaining, debating what could happen versus what realistically will happen. It also highlights how front offices have to weigh multiple factors, from player performance and fit to financial implications and future draft strategy. For Cowboys fans, it's a reminder that building a contender isn't just about one superstar acquisition. It's about constructing a roster that can sustain success through injuries, matchups, and the grind of a long season. On the player performance side, monitoring health and availability is critical. A player like Cavonte Turpin being confident in his neck, or Trayvon Diggs recovering fully from illness, can shift how coaches plan both practice and game day strategy. These details might seem small, but in professional football, they ripple throughout every aspect of preparation. Whether it's determining who will start, who will rotate, or how the defensive and offensive lines interact, player readiness dictates a lot of what happens on the field. Cowboys coaching staff clearly recognizes this, and that attention to detail shows in how they manage reps, monitor injuries, and prepare backups for critical positions. And while we're on that topic, it's also interesting to think about the psychology behind it. Players who see their teammates returning to full health can feel more confident in executing game plans. Conversely, facing a team like the Bears, with multiple injuries, the Cowboys can strategically exploit weaknesses in the opposition's lineup. Football isn't just about physical ability. It's about situational awareness, adaptability, and mental toughness. The Cowboys seem poised to leverage all of these factors heading into the next game, which could give them an edge when it comes time to execute under pressure. Every element ties back to preparation. From ensuring Tyler Booker is ready to fill in at center, to monitoring injury updates and analyzing trade possibilities, the Cowboys are leaving nothing to chance. They're thinking not just about what's happening now, but about what could happen, and they're putting systems in place to respond effectively. It's the kind of proactive approach that separates a good team from a great one, and it's what fans should be paying attention to as they watch the team navigate the complexities of the season. As we move deeper into the analysis of this matchup, it's clear that the Cowboys are approaching the game with both caution and calculated aggression. The Bears' injury report paints a picture of vulnerability across key positions, particularly in the hamstring-heavy areas of their roster. This opens up opportunities for the Cowboys to capitalize on mismatches, especially in the passing game and along the edge rush. Trayvon Diggs returning to full participation is pivotal in this context, because his presence in the secondary not only stabilizes coverage, but also allows defensive coordinators to be more creative in designing blitz packages and coverage schemes. When a team can trust that its top cornerbacks are healthy, it fundamentally changes the way offenses have to approach their reads, routes, and timing. Diggs' return essentially forces the Bears to rethink their attacking schemes, and that kind of disruption can create turnovers or at least force less optimal decisions under pressure. Meanwhile, on the offensive side, Tyler Gayton's full participation is equally critical. The offensive line is the backbone of any productive drive, and having a healthy Gayton gives the Cowboys the flexibility to run complex blocking schemes and maintain pocket integrity for the quarterback. Cavante Turpin's neck update also factors into this, because having skill position players confident in their ability to perform without risk of aggravating injuries means the coaching staff can call plays that require physicality, agility, and sustained effort. Turpin being ready to run routes, make cuts, and engage in contested catches allows the Cowboys to stretch the field both vertically and horizontally, putting constant pressure on the Bears' secondary. When you consider that the Bears have multiple players limited or out with lower body injuries, the Cowboys can exploit these gaps through motion, misdirection, and tempo changes, keeping defenders on their heels and forcing errors. Position flexibility along the offensive line, particularly with Tyler Booker working at center, is another layer that adds to the Cowboys' overall preparedness. Even though Booker isn't expected to start, the fact that he is comfortable running reps at center in practice means the team can handle unexpected scenarios without panic. Depth is not just a luxury. It's a requirement in a season where injuries are inevitable. The ability to shift players into different roles without a dramatic drop-off in performance ensures that the offensive line remains functional, and that stability translates into more reliable protection for the quarterback and better execution of both run and pass schemes. The coaching staff's focus on preparing these backups for emergency scenarios demonstrates an understanding that football is unpredictable and that adaptability often separates winners from losers. Looking at the defensive side, the Cowboys are entering this game with the advantage of healthier personnel against a Bears team struggling with multiple hamstring issues. Hamstrings affect speed, acceleration, and lateral movement, which are crucial for defenders who need to close gaps, change direction quickly, and recover in coverage. With several Bears players limited in practice, the Cowboys can plan to test these weaknesses strategically. Quick passes, screen plays, and designed runs to either side of the field are all tools that can exploit defenders who aren't fully at peak mobility. Moreover, with the defensive line intact and edge rushers like Javian Clowney ready to go, the Cowboys can maintain pressure on the quarterback, force hurried throws, and potentially create turnovers, which could shift momentum early in the game. The mental aspect of preparation also cannot be overlooked. Players like Cavante Turpin expressing confidence in their health do more than just reassure coaches. They signal to teammates that the team can execute without hesitation. Football is as much about confidence and trust as it is about physical skill. When athletes trust one another to be at their best, it creates a culture of accountability and aggressiveness that can carry through every snap. The Cowboys' ability to maintain this culture, especially heading into a matchup where the opponent has injury concerns, gives them an additional intangible advantage. It's not just about what happens on the stat sheet. It's about controlling the tempo, making the opponent play on your terms, and exploiting even subtle shifts in momentum. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In what could be the blockbuster move of the offseason, whispers are swirling through the NFL grapevine that Josh Allen, the star quarterback long synonymous with the Buffalo Bills, has allegedly inked a 3-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys. While no official announcement has been made, sources close to the situation suggest that the deal is all but finalized, sending shockwaves through both fan bases. Cowboys supporters, long yearning for a franchise quarterback to pair with their high-octane offense, are reportedly buzzing with excitement at the prospect of Allen taking the helm at AT&T Stadium. Allen's potential move raises more questions than answers. Could this signal a complete shift in the Cowboys' strategy, moving from a traditionally conservative play style to the aggressive, downfield-heavy offense Allen has thrived in Buffalo? Analysts speculate that pairing Allen with Dallas' receiving core could create one of the most explosive passing attacks in recent NFL memory, giving the Cowboys a new edge in the fiercely competitive NFC East. Meanwhile, Bills fans are reportedly in disbelief, with social media igniting a debate over what a potential departure might mean for Buffalo's future. Allen has been the face of the Bills' resurgence over the past few seasons, and the mere hint of his leaving has already set off a storm of speculation about who might be next in line to lead the franchise. Insiders suggest that negotiations were fueled by Dallas' willingness to offer Allen a platform not only to shine on the field, but also to secure long-term stability, both in terms of contract and team direction. The Cowboys, known for bold off-season moves, may see Allen as the piece that finally transforms them from perennial contenders to true Super Bowl threats. While nothing is confirmed, the rumor itself has sent shockwaves across sports media, with pundits and fans alike dissecting every possible implication. Is this a done deal, or just a tease of potential fireworks? Either way, the buzz surrounding Josh Allen and the Dallas Cowboys is palpable, and it's shaping up to be one of the most talked-about storylines of the offseason. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.